Ladies and gentlemen, this article came out in Quartz, November 13th, 2018. Did the Woolsey fire disturb a nuclear waste site? California says no, and a group of doctors say yes. A lot of these waste sites are around the country, and they usually don't tell the citizens where they are. Sometimes it will crop up because people in a certain area will start to get sick. And then, they will deny it for so many years, and then folks have to move out. We have a location here in New Jersey, in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. There was a small area within Mount Laurel, New Jersey, where everybody got cancer. And many people died in this radius area in Mount Laurel. And for years, they denied it was problems, but everybody was getting cancer, including the children and the animals. Everything just in this one location was constantly just getting cancer over and over. And they kept testing the site. And, you got to understand, these people that do the testing for the government, they are in the business to deny everything and act like nothing has gone wrong. But eventually the people had to move away from that area, and they sued because of all the lies that were told to them over and over. And this happened in many locations around the country. So, is it unusual for people to live near a nuclear waste site and you're not aware of it? Happens all the time. Happens all the time. I mean, this government is just all about cover-ups. But let's get into this story. As the Woolsey fire tore through more than 90,000 acres of Southern California over the weekend, it scorched land at a closed-down lab where the U.S. government and private companies tested nuclear weapons and rocket engines for decades, beginning in the 1940s. The Santa Susana Field Lab in the Simi Hills, right on the border of Ventura and Los Angeles counties, is now a federal Superfund site. It was the site of several nuclear accidents, including the worst nuclear meltdown in U.S. history when, in 1959, the facility operators intentionally vented nuclear material from the site's sodium reactor experiment to prevent it from overheating and exploding. By the time the leaks were closed, the site had released 459 times more radiation than was leaked during the better-known 1979 meltdown at 3 Mile Island. The lab property, now owned by airplane manufacturer Boeing, stretched for 2,800 acres in the Simi Hills and remains contaminated with toxic materials. Thousands of people live within 2 miles of the site, and roughly 500,000 live within 10 miles, according to an investigation by NBC4 Los Angeles. The California Department of Toxic Substances Control says that as of Friday, November 9th, they believe there was nothing to worry about at the Santa Susana site in relation to the Woolsey fire. Our scientists and toxicologists have reviewed information about the fire's location and do not believe the fire has caused any releases of hazardous material that would pose a risk to people exposed to the smoke, the department said in a statement. But some physicians disagree. We know what substances are on the site and how hazardous they are. We're talking about incredibly dangerous radionuclides, a toxic chemical such as, oh, wow, they're talking about, no, I have to agree with these doctors. That site is heavily contaminated. And to be honest with you, I don't even think people should be living within a 2-mile radius of that place like they are. And the sad part is many of them are probably not even aware and been living in the area for years, if not decades, or even a few generations, and not even know. Roger Dodge, a physician and the president of Physicians for Social Responsibility Los Angeles, said in a statement, these toxic materials are in SSFL, soil, vegetation, and when it burns, it becomes airborne in smoke and ash. There is real possibility of heightened exposure for area residents. So it's trichloroethene, perch, laurate, dioxins, and heavy metals. How could that not be dangerous, especially if it burns? I don't know what they're talking about. But you know what? Like I said, they're in the business to protect the government. All right, so weighing in with satellite imagery tells a similar two-sided story. These images show that the fires did spread to the compound, but they didn't take down structures. With near-infrared imagery, dense vegetation appears red, while burn scars from the Woolsey fire contrast as dark brown. All right, so yeah, they're showing you right here burn scars in this area. Okay, so the doctors would be right. Wow. The physician group also took a swipe at the California Department of Toxic Substances Control, noting that the state agency is the subject of an independent review commissioned by the California state legislature to investigate its handling of toxic waste site cleanups. The Santa Susana field lab has never been completely cleaned up, and residents believe cancer occurred at higher than normal rates in the area. People who worked at the lab in the 1950s who developed cancer are part of a designated U.S. Center for Disease Control special exposure cohort and may be eligible for compensation for their nuclear material exposure. So they have a higher than normal cancer rate in that area. Oh boy. And then you got a fire that's in the area that is going, like, I agree with these doctors, that's going to send those chemicals all up in the air. with the fire. It's going to be embedded in the smoke. Oh, man, what a disaster. The site is adjacent or nearby several California residential communities, including Simi Valley, Chatsworth, West Hill, Canoga Park, Woodland Hills, Thousand Oaks, and Moore Park. Several of these communities suffer fire damage, and California's State Fire Department estimates 370 structures in total have been destroyed in the blaze so far. And they're not even saying this thing is even contained, which is clearly showing you it's not. And if it's near this site, boy, this is going to turn out to be a way bigger disaster than they ever anticipated. Wow. And you can see this is dark. You can see it is scorched. Wow. Y'all. Please tell me what you think about these new developments. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.